And Bello to jump this one up. Montana State controls the opening tip as we get underway here in Greeley. Montana State 4-3 on the year. Northern Colorado 3-5. The Bobcats swept the Bears here in those two-game sets last year. Bishop here near wing, top of the key to Amin Adamu. Get it to the left elbow to Muhammad, and in the paint, a little runner for Amin Adamu, who's no good. Control to the Bears.
Yeah, you always love to start the game with a defensive stop, especially when you're playing your first home game in conference.
Adamu had 36 here last year, a career high, and a lot of those were on plays just like that. As cutting to the basket is Jung Cooch. It's turned over on the Bears' opening possession. In transition, Patterson back to Bishop. Montana State settles the offense. Bishop on the left-handed attack. Crafty veteran dumps it inside. It's turned over. Is looking for Bello. Bodie Hume wants to run tempo. Hume into the front court off of 9 threes against Colorado State. Left that one short. And Montana State back the other way.
Both teams definitely anxious to get started and get a good offensive possession. A little bit of nervous energy, probably with a couple early turnovers too. And there goes not quite another one.
Close to another. I was just there's close to another one. Looking inside for Jabril Bello, and he'll stay with the Bobcats. Scoreless here, just underway. Also want to give a shout out here. Assistant coach Dan Russell up in Bozeman.
Yeah, got a new baby.
Has a new baby. Congrats to my guy Dan Russell up there in Bozeman. I spent a year with him when I was working up at MSU. Good guy up there. Congrats again.
Yeah, was former head coach at Casper in Wyoming Junior College. Did a really good job there, and excited for him having a championship today with his new baby.
Off the left-handed baby hook by Bello. It's no good for Montana State. Matt Johnson the second. Drives right. Now he'll back things out and look to the corner. Dalton Connect wants to, Dalen Kuntz looking for Connect in the corner on the attack with the left hand. 10 to shoot now as the Bears back it out. Matt Johnson the second. 4 to shoot. Has Bishop on him, has a little bit of size advantage. Tough shot from the left elbow is off the heel, and Adamu high for the rebound.
Yeah, both teams not able to kind of get comfortable yet offensively. Both teams know each other well, want to do really well in this game, and credit to the defense. They both stepped up early on.
Yeah, you mentioned who's going to get defensive stops. Well, who's going to score first is the real question here. Adamu drives right, kicks out to Muhammad, has it with 9 to shoot. Step back three is good for the first points of the game. Abdul Muhammad, career high 25 earlier this season against Portland, gets the Bobcats on the board first.
Yeah, really talented player, played junior college in this region and went to North Texas for a few years, learned a little bit more about the Division I and winning, and I think he may even redshirted out there. I got to see him when I was at UTEP, even when I went to practice. He's a talented player. They were high on him there, and you can see why, because he can score the basketball.
8 to shoot again for Northern Colorado. Bodie Hume straightaway three. That one's off to the right and out of bounds. No good, and quickly to the bench. Head coach Steve Smiley, Drew Cookshausen is going to check in, the 5'11" graduate transfer from McNeese State. He'll replace Bodie Hume.
Yeah, Cookshausen is the #1 3-point makes leader in the conference, and number, I believe, 13 in the country with three-pointers made with 23.
Bears fans still standing here as customary until the Bears get on the scoreboard. I kind of joked with you earlier, Matt Johnson the second now here in the white shoes. Really different for me. He's usually have the electric blue shoes on as Patterson goes inside with the little baby hook for Montana State, showing some versatility from Patterson. Not necessarily a guy that likes to get down there and bang, but a soft touch around the rim.
Yeah, 2 plays early on in the game in the first 4 minutes that they've posted up some of their wing and guards to kind of get some paint touches that way. So credit to Montana State kind of establishing their paint play early in the game.
First whistle of the contest goes against Montana State. That's on Xavier Bishop, the senior point guard leader. Second team All-Big Sky a season ago. Northern Colorado gets it in. Dalton Connect in the deep corner. Trying to hand it off to Cookshausen. Good defense by Montana State. Bodie quickly back off the bench. It's 5-0 in favor of Montana State. Matt Johnson the second, 3-ball straight away. Core Jung Cooch on the offensive glass for Northern Colorado. Cooch challenges at the rim and a late whistle against Montana State. I think that's going to be Jabril Bello.
Yeah, not a great flow offensively yet for Northern Colorado, but I love the fact that Jung Cooch was on the glass to get an offensive rebound, created a second opportunity, and Kuntz is as talented of a player in this league, obviously scoring as one of the best scorers in the league right now, transferred from Colorado. When he gets to the free throw line, I think it's a huge key for this team because they don't have to just rely on the three-point line.
73% at the free throw line this season. First free throw up and good. That puts the Bears on the scoreboard. When he had his career high 26 down at DU last season, he was 12 of 14 from the free throw line. And like you said, it's a big, big opportunity to get free points here. I liked the aggressiveness by him as well. He didn't settle for the outside shot. He attacked Jabril Bello.
Yeah, he's playing his best basketball of his career so far, and just look to him to keep attacking. They need that from him in order to kind of balance out the three-point line.
Bodie Hume on the offensive glass, and he is blocked by great Osborne, who just checked out, but the Bears recover and bury a three by Drew Cookshausen. That's that man right off the bench. Instant offense for the Bears.
Yeah, another key is seeing Northern Colorado get on the offensive glass early. They've scored twice now on second possession, second opportunities from the offensive glass.
And that's one thing they did against Colorado State. They held CSU to just 2-0 boards and didn't give up any second chance points as the Bears stifle the Bobcats there. Dalen Coots in transition.
This is where I think Dalen Coots is at.
Northern Colorado.
Yeah, you see Bodie kind of hunting threes a little bit early in this one. Of course, they're trying to take that away because he made 9 of 14. Hopefully he can get something going kind of in the basket, inside the paint to get himself going today.
Behind the back dribble from Bishop. He drives baseline. Dumps it underneath to Osborne, up with the left hand, strong finish, deep position there for Montana State.
Yeah, one thing they've established, they've had 3 really good looks with deep post touches. Great dime by the point guard to be able to drive in the paint and deliver it right on target.
7-4, Montana State with the early lead. Matt Johnson the second. Dalton Connect on the left slot, trying to break down Patterson. Gets to the right hand, Connect up with the right hand off the window.
Great take.
Gets it to
Great
go.
take, great take by Connect. Got to see more of that from him. He's a really talented slasher off the bounce. Got to be able to show that and not just rely on the three-pointer.
And Bishop gets aggressive, and he'll draw the first whistle against Bodie Hume in the contest. 2 shots for Xavier Bishop, the transfer from UMKC. As we take a look at that Connect bucket on the replay. And you mentioned it, he's so skilled and he can shoot the ball so well. That could be a part of his game that if he gets to the rim, maybe he gets an and one there, gets a free throw line, but another aspect of his game, so good with, so strong at the rim.
Yeah, when you have a team that shoots the three as well as Northern Colorado does, you want to be able to do more in the paint to be able to attack and balance out so you're not just only relying on threes.
Raekwon Battle checks in for Montana State, the 6'5 sophomore.
One thing Montana State, talking to their staff, they spoke about was this lineup that's on the floor right now for Northern Colorado. If you notice, Bodie Hume is playing the 5, Connect is playing the 4, Kuntz is playing the 3, so you have a all-guard lineup, which is really hard to defend on the other end.
8-6, Montana State on top, and we'll see how this 5-guard lineup does play. Kuntz outside the three-point line. He lines one up off the mark, no good, and Bishop corrals it on the backside. Dalen had 4 threes against Colorado State as well. Raekwon Battle right off the bench, misses his mark. Cookshausen another board for Northern Colorado.
Yeah, Northern Colorado, hopefully this possession they can get something where someone's creating a shot for someone else. Right now it's a lot of one guy trying to take a really difficult shot or force a 3. Want to see an assisted play just like that. When Kuntz gets to the paint, delivers to Bodie Hume, and Bodie gets that close proximity bucket that we were looking for.
And maybe that gets him started, get that first bucket to go for the first team All-Big Sky preseason honoree. Battle on the attack. He's cut off. I really like the defense I've seen so far. We're tied at 8, 13:23 to play. Good defense from Matt Johnson the second, and he'll come down with the rebound for the Bears.
Yeah, to be a small lineup and an all-guard lineup, they've really attacked the glass hard.
3 ball by Dalen. Kuntz. Zach Blatch checked in for Northern Colorado, the freshman. Jung Cooch back as well. Patterson dumps inside, and a foul will be whistled on. I believe they're going to Cookshausen on the hold against Patrick McMahon, and they do. Cookshausen's first second on the team here in the first half.
Yeah, one thing you'll see that Montana State has continued to do is they'll back cut their wings, and as they back cut, they may stop and post up to look to get a quick inside touch just to get something closer to the basket, and they keep picking up these little tic-tac fouls, which gets you closer to the bonus as well.
Adamu returns. Kellen Tynes checks in for the first time. There's a blocked shot on the backside.
High-level
defense.
block shot. Really impressive play by Connect, showing his versatility and his bounce, playing above the rim on the defensive end.
It looked like it was going to be an easy one for Montana State as we take a replay here, but
big-time play.
Good recovery. Is kicked away by Bodie Hume, trying to go high-low into Osobor.
Yeah, those are those momentum plays that don't really get talked about as much. But you take away a layup, and now they have to earn another basket. They get a stop, and they keep their run going on the other end if they can get a stop here.
Kuntz quickly returns for Northern Colorado. Tynes on the drive, lowers his shoulder, and he lost control of it.
Yep, there's the stop, and now this is where the Bears are at their best, playing in transition. They have done the lineup change, so they're not going 5 guards, so let's see what they do this possession.
And you see quickly off the bench, Jabril Bello wanting to counter that for Danny Sprinkle and his staff as Bodie Hume leans in on the attack, doesn't get the bucket to go.
Yeah, good play call there. They want to do an isolation to get Bodie at the elbow to be able to drive his man one-on-one. Great isolation, just couldn't quite get the finish.
Osobor low block, kicks back out, Tynes right back in. Osobor goes to work on Core John Cooper.
The senior against the freshman.
3 turnovers for Montana State. 11-8, 12 minutes to play in the first half. Jabril Bello checks back in, as we mentioned, as John Cooch attacks him. State of Wyoming. He'll be defending Core John Cooch. John Cooch will go right at him. Tries to back him down in a low post. A hook shot rolls off the rim. Good shot, just couldn't get it to drop.
Yeah, that's the shot you want out of the timeout. Go straight at the freshman, and I believe they'll do a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
McMahon hands off to Muhammad. Adamu. As Montana State skips it around the perimeter. McMahon on the attack off the window. No good, but a foul is drawn. I believe that's Core John Cooch, and it is. First on John Cooch. Third on the team here, so it's been a pretty clean first half. Not a lot of whistles here, but what we've seen so far is when you're aggressive, when you're going to the basket, you're going to get rewarded.
Absolutely. Yeah, the refs have done a good job here and keeping the game clean. I think one thing to keep an eye on now as they go with John Cooch is coming out. Bodie is going in back at the 5, so they're going back to the 5-guard lineup with him at the 5 and Dalton at the 4.
Patrick.
Oh, spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. They're going to big lineup, even better.
McMahon, the freshman out of Palmer, Alaska, is good on his second free throw. It's 2 of 4 on the season now. As it's a 2-point Northern Colorado lead. Dalen Kuntz gets the high ball screen on the attack. Had a look at a step back 3, wants to attack Kalekala. Gets in the lane, tries to go up with the left hand. Off the window, no good. A little bit of a force shot there by Dalen.
Yeah, good block, Rosie, good block.
Adamu tried to split the defense. Bishop's back in for Montana State as well. Some high-level defense being played here in the first half by both these teams. John Cooch dumps it inside to Connect. Connect goes at the rim, and that's Muhammad there with the block for Montana State.
A block party going on right now.
Good defense from Bodie Hume on the attack by Adamu. He stayed in his verticality as Kuntz has it in the left corner. He's going to attack into the middle. Tries to step through off the window, does, and a foul with that little contact to the head. I believe that is going to be on Muhammad. That'll be his first.
And the thing you got to love about this game so far, we talked early on, we're 10 minutes into the game almost, and it's 11-9. It's a defensive game versus being an offensive game so far. And another thing we mentioned, Dalen Kuntz getting to the free throw line. When they're at their best, they draw fouls. He's the main one for them to do that, and it changes the way you have to defend them at the three-point line. And now you're closer to the bonus. Now any touches, shooting free throws. So huge key there for Dalen to keep getting to the free throw line.
Cookshausen checks back in for Dalton Connect for Northern Colorado. 12-9.
From a field goal percentage standpoint, we're shooting 26 for Northern Colorado and 23 for Montana State.
Two teams we talked about high-level offenses in the pregame. It has been a very good defensive battle here in the early going. As Muhammad traveled and he's frustrated with himself. Gives the ball a little slam on the court, and this aggressive Northern Colorado defense has forced 5 turnovers here in this first half.
Yeah, when Northern Colorado puts their offensive firepower with the defense they're playing right now, it is a scary Northern Colorado team.
Now you got to turn some of those turnovers into points, as they haven't scored a point off of the 5 turnovers by Montana State. 10 minutes to play here, first half. Dalen Kuntz goes backside to Matt Johnson. The second spin move gets into the paint. Cut off. Good defense once again by the Bobcats. 3 ball from Dalen Kuntz rattles in for the Bears.
So possessions where they touch the paint. There, Matt Johnson touches the paint, kicks it out, and able to get a great look for 3. Another assisted basket for the Bears.
8 points now for Dalen Kuntz. It's a 7-point advantage for the Bears, 16-9. Muhammad, who has a 3 in the contest, has it poked away. Good little reach in there by John Cooch. Reset the offense with Xavier Bishop. Bishop gets to the rim. Johnson challenges, and another missed layup by the Bobcats. And Northern Colorado comes quickly the other way.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Transition basketball. When they get stops and they play in transition, they're hard to stop because Bodie Hume's playing the 4, but he can push it just like a guard.
Adamu returns, 16 foul on Montana State, first on Patrick McMahon. Great Osborne checks back in for Sam Lecalot.
Yeah, glad you mentioned that 6th foul for the Bobcats. Now, Northern Colorado, any touch foul, they're in the bonus, which is huge for them to be able to get to the free throw line without having to, quote-unquote, draw a shooting foul.
And we'll see what the officials confer. They're going to get a player control foul on Matt Johnson. The second. It looked like Adamu stood his ground for Montana State. And in 9 minutes, that's a lot of time to be in the bonus.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Just 4 team fouls now after that one for Northern Colorado. Osborne looking for the post up again for Patterson. Quick trigger 3 ball is short, and soaring in for the rebound is poor John Cooch.
Cookhausen doesn't get a lot of credit defensively, but right there he did a great job with a big height difference, contesting that 3 and not giving him an open look.
Northern Colorado sets their offense, hands it to Bodie. Bodie steps to his left for a 3 ball, rises, fires off the mark, no good. And will go the other way. Muhammad quickly into the front court, attacks Bodie Hume, and that's going to be number 2 on Bodie, and that's a big foul for Northern Colorado. Dalton Connect will return for UNC, but 2 of the guys that figured to be central pieces in this contest probably going to be sitting, I don't know if maybe the remainder of this half, but you're the coach, and you're the one that has to make that decision.
No, great question and great point. I mean, most of the time when a good player on your team gets 2 fouls in the first half, it's almost a general rule amongst college basketball that you're sitting for the rest of the half.
So that's 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Northern Colorado may be without Bodie. Is on the attack. Muhammad inside, keeps it alive, gets his own rebound, and he's fouled. And let's see who this whistles on, and if it's Kaur, that's number 2 on him, and it is. So quickly up off the bench is Theo Hughes. 7-point advantage for Northern Colorado, 16-9.
Yeah, one thing Northern Colorado has done a really good job of until this last possession, a lot of basketball culture talks about getting 3 stops in a row, and if you do that a certain amount of time in the game, you have a greater chance to win. And they've done a good job getting 3 stops in a row consecutively that last time, able to get an offensive rebound from Montana State, and now they're at the line. Montana
State just 2 of 5 at the foul line here today. Their last field goal was at the near 15-minute mark in this contest. 14:57 was their last field goal, as they cut it to a 6-point game as the second free throw is good. 8:05 to play. Dalen Kuntz against Ahmed Adamu. Really good matchup of 2 of the more talented wings in this conference. As Matt Johnson The second sets the screen. Dalen Kuntz, top of the key. Into the corner to connect. Hughes, low block, wants to go to work on Osibor. Theo kicks out to Cookshausen. 3 to shoot for Drew. He'll pull up at the foul line and misses right. And the Bobcats race the other way. Bishop, left-handed layup, no good. Battle for the rebound is knocked out of bounds, and it'll.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Bears control out of the timeout. Hughes, Cookshausen, Matt Johnson the second, Dalton Connect, and Dalen Kuntz for Northern Colorado. Step back jumper
Nice
by
play.
Matt Johnson the second is no good. And Abdul Mohammed, one of the leading rebounders in the Big Sky Conference, gets another one. Near steal by Connect, leaves Mohammed open for three. He's long on that, gets his own rebound, and is fouled by Dalen Kuntz.
And now we're in the bonus both ways for the next 7 minutes. And those little ticky-tack fouls and those 50-50 plays, that's a play that the whole Northern Colorado bench is going to be frustrated about because you didn't block out the shooter and you gave up a second possession when it should have been an easy rebound.
But, and before that, even you look at it, you gamble on a three,
Yep.
or a gamble on a steal.
Give up an
you
open
give an
three.
open three, they get the long rebound, and you played such a great defensive first half here. These, again, possibility for some 3 points for Montana State. Bryce Kennedy checks in for Northern Colorado. Mohammed is good on the first free throw.
Yeah, defensively, Northern Colorado, you're giving up 16% from the field. You're executing at the highest level possible. They have 1 assist that you've allowed, but you have to only limit them to 1 shot. You don't want to give that second chance, and you don't want to get that ticky-tack foul.
A couple Bears in foul trouble. Bodie Hume and Kur Jung Cooch. For Montana State, Jabril Bello in foul trouble with 2 personals as well. 7:04. As good on a pair as Abdul Mohammed. 4-point game, 16-12. Northern Colorado into the front court.
Yeah, going back this way for Northern Colorado, you want to see an assisted basket, something where you're working together with a teammate to get somebody else to look exactly like that.
And a little give and go, a little pick and roll as Cookshausen finds Theo Hughes with the lay-in for Northern Colorado. And man, it looks like you must have been a coach at some point in your life there, calling that one out.
Yeah, at some point. I wish it would have went that easily when I was coaching. It did not.
Bishop into the front court, loses control of the dribble, tracks it down with 9 to shoot. Deep 3 by Bishop, too strong. Then Xavier Bishop yet to find the range. Kuntz on the attack with the left hand, spins out with the right. Bears will set the offense now, slow things up. 6:11 to play first half. Kennedy with a little bit of a spacing issue there for Northern Colorado. Now 10 to shoot. Matt Johnson the second pulls up again, and Mohammed grabs another rebound. He's got 5 in the contest. Averages right at 7.
Yeah, you got to give both teams credit. They're really not allowing either team to get easy looks, open looks. You can see a lot of frustration and looking over at the bench for the players on the floor offensively. Like, Coach, what do we do? They're taking away what we're looking to do.
And when you're so familiar with an opponent with all the available advanced scouting tools that you see that are available to all coaching staffs, there's not a lot of secrets that you can pull out for these matchups, and especially in Big Sky Conference play when you've seen these teams before.
There's so much familiarity with when you get to conference play, so much familiarity versus when you play non-conference. Those teams don't really know you. They can kind of get a little bit more surprised, even though there is that same scouting and analytics available. When you get to conference play, these players and teams and coaches know each other so well.
Well, and especially when you look at a group of guys on both sides here. We talked about the super seniors from Montana State. And then Northern Colorado, they were in 2 really, really tight games here a season ago. One of those games went to overtime. So these 2 teams are so familiar and such, like we talked about, just such mirror images of one another right now. It's kind of reflected in the score. It's a low-scoring game, 18-12. But, man, this defense has been so impressive from both these squads.
Yeah, and Montana State, they've played really well on the road. They played at New Mexico in the pit in a super hostile environment, lose by 3. They took Colorado right down the road in our state to overtime and almost won that one. So they've played really well on the road. We know they're capable, and they definitely are defending at a high level today.
Good quick hitter off the inbounds to Tyler Patterson from the elbow, and just like you draw it up on the sideline. It's knocked down, and it cuts the lead to 4, 18-14. Hughes trying to find somebody. Matt Johnson, the second, bails him out. He'll attack into the paint. 3 Bobcats collapse on him, and it's an offensive foul on Cookshausen, extended to 4 on.
Yeah, again, I just give credit to the defenses on both sides. There's no space and comfort for either team to be able to establish what they want offensively, and you see them having to go to second, third, fourth option in their offense and put people in position to do things they're not normally doing, like Cookshausen dribbling. Not something we see a lot of over here.
Zach Blatch checks in for Northern Colorado. Osmore for Montana State surveys and finds Bishop, and it's a little too long and overextends Bishop, and it's another turnover for the Bobcats. That's their 5th of the contest.
Yeah, now you're in that point of the game where you have foul trouble on both teams. You have some guys playing minutes that don't normally play minutes. You have some fatigue setting in, and this separation for this last 5 minutes will be a big key for the half.
Little give and go, beautifully executed by Northern Colorado down the lane. Matt Johnson, the second, kisses it off the window. Bishop drives, and his shot is altered at the rim. Tough shot, and the Bears have transition. Ahead of the pack to Bryce Kennedy as Kennedy steps through, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Bryce Kennedy.
Wow, that was a surprise call there. I don't know if they can review those kind of calls. We'll see it on the big screen, but it didn't look like Montana State was close to being square. Maybe they felt like Kennedy was out of control on that one, and that's why they called it.
That's a tough call to go against Northern Colorado.
Yeah, especially at this time, getting some momentum. Yeah, they can't review everything.
They cannot. Bobcats maybe catch a break there, see if they can capitalize. Trailing by 6, 4:35 to play first half. Adamu, who's taken 2 charges here today, some of the little things that he does for this Bobcats team, and now you get a touch foul the other way on Blatch, and there'll be free throws for Xavier Bishop, a guy who's a pretty good free throw shooter for Montana State. Just 1 of 2 here today, but 74%.
Yep. Yeah, those touch fouls will be a huge thing. We talked about the bonus and how much that'll be a key for the finishing of this half. Again, field goal percentage are both low on both sides, so you want to keep them off the free throw line where they're shooting 75 versus in this game they're shooting 19%.
Well, we talked about the bonus for Northern Colorado. Came almost at the 9-minute mark. They've yet to attempt a free throw since then, so it's almost 4 minutes since they've been to the free throw line when they got into the 1-and-1. And the Bobcats, they only had 3 team fouls at the time. Now they've been to the free throw line 4 times with these 1-and-1 free throws. So Bobcats have taken advantage of being aggressive here in this tail end of the first half.
Yeah, and I'll give Montana State credit. They've really done a good job defensively since getting in the bonus. They've really done a great job of not really allowing a lot of opportunities to get fouls.
4-point game. Northern Colorado leads 20-16. Kennedy, Blatch, Kuntz, Matt Johnson the second, and Dalton Connect kicked into the corner. Connect wide open, 3-ball, got it for Northern Colorado.
Beautiful basketball. When you can drive like that, like Dalen just did, and find Connect in the corner for a wide open look, those are the plays that get you going. Again, another assisted basket by Northern Colorado.
7-point lead.
Tough shot.
Matches the large lead, but Montana State cuts it to 5. Into the front court. Northern Colorado sets the offense. Kennedy at the 5 now. Matt Johnson the second. Kennedy wants a 3-ball. Too strong, and the Bobcats control.
Yeah, would love to see Northern Colorado offensive end attack the paint and get those paint touches as they are in the bonus and pick up some of those kind of cheap ticky-tack fouls.
Bishop aggressive at the rim, scores with the right hand. And it's a 3-point game, 23-20. Couple back-to-back.
Big Sky and won the Big Sky Championship, which is never easy to do to get that one bid.
And especially to do it on the road in a hostile environment against the number 1 seed.
And tied for the regular season, but then got the 2nd seed, so had to do it on the road.
As Patterson controls off the bounce, pull-up jumper is good. And Tyler Patterson starting to get going here a little bit towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, in that last 4-minute game, Montana State was able to win it 10-7, and that's the highest points they've scored in a 4-minute stretch is 10 points. So definitely the defense is starting to loosen up a little bit. A lot of it because of the free throw line.
Kuntz with a look from 3, goes off the fingertips of Lekala, who's crashing the defensive glass. 1-point game, 23-22. 2:43 to play. Drew Cookshausen returns for Northern Colorado, replacing Bryce Kennedy. Good minutes there from Bryce Kennedy.
Yeah, another big offensive rebound, team offensive rebound, but another big extra possession, which has been a huge key so far in the limited offense for the Bears today.
Matt Johnson, the second, attacks. A little hook shot off the windows, up and in for Matt Johnson, the second.
Nice take, nice take. When he drives to the basket, again, gets those paint touches, get closer proximity to the basket, it's a great thing for the Bears offensively.
Bishop goes back to Lekala. He can make that shot off the left for Montana State, and the Bears limit one and done for the Bobcats. Matt Johnson, the second, step back 3 ball, too strong for UNC. Bishop, sorry, go ahead.
No, still haven't quite been able to get that bonus free throw attempt still yet after 9 minutes of being in the bonus.
Cookshausen's got to be careful. He has 2 personal fouls. Adamu's going to fire up a 3, and that's well off from the corner, and the Bears have it into the front court again. Look how quickly Bishop closes out to Cookshausen. As Kuntz on the attack, picked up by Lekala. Can get to the rim, finds Matt Johnson the second, and he is fouled, I believe, on the 3-point attempt by Abdul Mohammed.
Yeah, I may sound like a broken record here on the broadcast today, but every time so far the Bears have gotten 2 feet in the paint and made another pass, usually something great's come from it. Wide open looks, there you get a drawn foul, where you get 3 free throw attempts from Matt Johnson.
He's an 86% free throw shooter at the free throw line as well. Free throw up and good for Matt Johnson, the second out of Rangeview High School. Just such a steady leader. You got to love his story. Former walk-on, has just worked his way into this lineup, and he's a huge contributor for this Northern Colorado team, averaging just under 11 points a game in his senior season.
He's the rock. He's the key. He's the steady leader. They go as he goes, as the coaching staff has said, and a third-team All-Big Sky performer last year. So, you expect great things from him returning for his final season.
He's made the first 2. Let's see if he can capitalize on all 3. 27-22 our score here in Greeley. A minute 35 to play, and he's good on all 3.
Yeah, look for see how we're going to close the half. One of those things coaches always talk about: finish halves, finish halves, finish halves.
Hughes comes out and traps Bishop, come near side to Adamu. He's going to try to attack the rim, floater up and in.
Tough to create a difficulty shot there by Adamu.
Again, we saw him here last year, hit an array of those, had 36 in the matchup here in Greeley last year. As Matt Johnson, the second, on the attack. Again, a little hesitation, fake, trying to get to the rim, kicks back out to Dalen Kuntz. Kuntz thought about the step back, goes inside to Hughes. Hughes steps back with the shot. Bryce Kennedy's on the offensive glass, but can't spin it home off the window. Bishop right down the lane, and blocking foul whistle against Theo Hughes.
A little surprised they called that one. Great job walling with the chest, but again, the aggressive team kind of gets rewarded for that aggressive play. Great job by Xavier Bishop getting deep in the paint.
Let's take a look at it here again, and again, like you said, the aggressive team has been getting rewarded here in the lighter stages of this first half. It just seems that Montana State's just been a shade more aggressive than Northern Colorado trying to get to the rim.
Yeah, I think they figured out in their mentality, and again, going back to their coach who played at Montana State, he takes so much pride and ownership in year 3, changing his culture of demanding that play hard, play with purpose, attacking kind of mentality, and he's raised the intensity and the demand of this program, and they're playing like he would play back when he played in the Big Sky for Montana State.
As the Bears take their use it or lose it timeout, Northern Colorado leads by 3:45 seconds to play. And you talked a lot about the 4-minute games and how those impact. Now here in these final 45.3 seconds, is this one of those 2-for-1 opportunities that you look at, or do you just want to try to execute the play you're designing right now in this huddle?
Yeah, it kind of just depends on your philosophy as a coach. I think it's definitely a 2-for-1 opportunity if you want to be, again, a little more aggressive. If you feel like you just want to get to the half because you got some guys playing more minutes than they normally do because you're in foul trouble and you want to be a little more conservative, you may try to use the clock and maybe even get an offensive rebound where you get both possessions.
It has been a little shuffling of the lineups as you just talked about. As 3 of the mainstays for this game that you expect to see a lot of have been on the bench for an extended period of time here in this first half. Bodie Hume, Jung Cooch with the 2 personal fouls for the Bears, and Jabril Bello, the 2 personal fouls for Montana State. So have not seen a lot of those 3 here in this first half.
Yeah, you see a little full court press there, maybe to take away the idea of the 2-for-1, to slow them down a little bit.
Matt Johnson, the second, couldn't get it in to Theo Hughes, gets it right back. Now 15 to shoot. 2-for-1's off. Johnson, the second, friendly bounce for Northern Colorado. Got the shooter's touch.
Yeah, big job by him stepping up this half to just produce some points. In a game where you're grinding and trying to find out how to get points, the senior's really stepped up, Matt Johnson, in a variety of ways to score.
Into double figures for Northern Colorado with 10, their leading scorer in the contest. 5 to shoot. Bishop checks the clock. He's going to get double teamed, looks back, goes to his right with the 3 ball and got it. 4 on the road for Montana State.
Road Warriors, as one of their staff members told me, they are Road Warriors right now.
Coming off a tournament victory down in San Antonio, Matt Johnson, the second, attacks the paint. Good recovery defensively by Mohammed for Montana State. Bounce pass good. Thread of the needle. Dalen Kuntz, little spin back jumpers off the mark for the Bears. Bobcats into the front court will settle the offense. Transition defense good there by the Bears. Ahmed Adama, who's going to put it on the deck. Step back jumper good, and we're even at 30. The senior with 6 points now for Montana State.
Yeah, you kind of get that first possession out of the halftime. We, as Northern Colorado, shoots kind of an off-balance fadeaway. They shoot an on-balance mid-range jumper. Kind of sets the tone for how they'll play to start the half.
And a near turnover by the Bears. An extra pass for Bodium Dalen Kuntz sets his feet for 3 for Northern Colorado. That's his 3rd triple of the contest, and finding his range from long distance has added another element for Dalen Kuntz.
Yeah, it makes him a really hard guard in this league when you can make threes like he's making right now and put on the floor and get fouled like he can. And another assisted basket for Northern Colorado. They are, again, at their best when they're sharing the ball and creating for teammates.
Abdul Muhammad going right at Bodie Hume, trying to get that 3rd personal foul on Bodie. He'll control on the attack, spin move in the lane, lost it, out of bounds, it stays with the Bears.
Yeah, you know, sometimes when you're a really good player coming off playing well and you haven't had a great half, you're just kind of anxious to get going a little bit. Bodie hasn't quite been able to get there, but Jung Cooch with a nice right-handed hook over the left shoulder.
And that's what happened. He was isolated there. He was able to get his position and find enough space as Montana State didn't bring a double down, and he converts. 5-point advantage quickly for UNC. Bishop on the drive. Bishop, offensive foul. Jung Cooch steps in and takes it, and that's number 2.
And the big fella gets up with a smile like, they called another one for me. Number 2 for him today, doing all the little things, big fella is. Hopefully they get him another touch inside to reward him.
5-point advantage. A bucket here could match the large lead of the game for Northern Colorado. Matt Johnson, the second, attacks, reverse layup is rejected, and it looked like it might have gone off Matt Johnson's shoulder there as his line out of bounds, but the officials will say it stays with Northern Colorado. Good recovery by Jabril Bello.
Kind of one of those, he put it back on his side. If he puts it with his left, he makes that and has uncontested. Went at the right and got blocked.
Bello's 7th all time in Montana State history in block shots. As a 3's off the mark for Dalton Connect. And the Bobcats race the other way. Nice bounce pass on Ahmed Adama on the back, cut up with the layup. Good execution there by the Bobcats.
Now you see the offense on both sides kind of starting to open up, getting a little more free-flowing. Look for this to be a high-scoring half based on this pace.
35-32. Bello trying to stand his ground. John
The
Cooch
big
goes back to the well.
fella, big fella. I love to see it. Over the left shoulder, right hook. He's got a smile on his face. He's hooping right now.
37-32. John Cooch almost averaging a double-double on the year. 9.6 points per game and 9.9 rebounds. As Hume with the steal. Bodie on the breakaway. Dunk it home with 2 hands.
You love to see him above the rim. Get a little momentum going for the Bears.
7-point advantage matches the large lead of the basketball game for Northern Colorado. Good crowd is filed in here for the Gold Rush game for the Bears. Looking for Bello on the screen and roll. Can't get it to him. Bears recover defensively. Adamu dumps it into Bello, low block. He's going to face up on John Cooch. Spin move in the lane. Bello step through move, left hand, up and in.
Hey,
nifty footwork.
That was a little bit of he's been watching some Akeem Olajuwon growing up for Houston Rockets. That was a little dream shake, shimmy, step through. Gotta love to see that from the big man.
Kuntz on the attack, tries to split through, and a whistle and a foul on Ahmed Adamu. Second team foul on the Bobcats, first on Adamu. Looking for Bodie curling off the screen. They get it to him. Back out to John Cooch. We'll go right back to Bodie with Xavier Bishop on him. Wants to back him down, and they're going to call an offensive foul.
Wow. I've never seen that. I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of things. I've coached a lot of ball, but I've never seen that. He didn't fall. He didn't even move, and they called an offensive foul. No elbow, no nothing. Conference play, that's what happens sometimes. Referees are human.
Third personal on Bodie Hume with 16:07 to play, and now it's that minute monitoring game for head coach Steve Smiley for one of his biggest stars of the contest. 5-point advantage for Northern Colorado.
Yeah, huge call. I don't know if it's just because he was so aggressive, but Northern Colorado, opportunity to step up without one of your leading scorers and your seniors.
Bello dunks it home for Montana State. Jabril Bello, 123 of his career field goals now have come via dunk.
Looks like Amari Stoudemire back in the day for Phoenix Suns with the goggles and all.
Kuntz sets his feet. Dalen Kuntz is off short and right with the 3 ball. Got a good look at it. And Montana State can tie 8 to play in this Big Sky Conference opener for both these squads. The Bears will be right back here Saturday night against Montana, who's at Sacramento State, is off the window. Ahmed Adamu converts for Montana State. He's in double figures for the Bobcats with 10.
Yeah, nice design ISO out of the timeout to be able to clear out one of your best players. Driving hard to the left. Pretty shot off the glass.
Kuntz wants the ball screen, and they're going to call a blocking foul, I believe, on Adamu.
Adamu is an active, really high-level defender. He might have beat him to the spot there. The charge blocks calls been a little controversial today, but
isn't it always, though?
Yeah, it is.
It is one of the toughest calls to make. 2 guys going full speed. There's very rarely one that you can say is just easy.
Yeah. I think they call that sometimes a makeup call. I don't know that was one, but back to the action.
Bears lead by 1. Matt Johnson the second for Northern Colorado in double figures with 10. Connect fakes the handoff into Theo Hughes. Hughes on Bello. Double team comes against Hughes. Step through move by Theo up and in for Northern Colorado.
Love to see them going inside, rewarding big fellas. And Bello's got 2 fouls, so you want to be able to have him a little bit on pins and needles about picking up that 3rd one.
Good play by Hughes as Bello drives with the left hand and scores it for the Bobcats. And again, we saw him for just 4 minutes in that first half, and he's very versatile. He can dunk it, as we talked about, but also showing a little bit of quickness there to get by Hughes on the drive.
Showing some good versatility to his game.
Good back cut by Cookshausen. He can't find anybody up amongst the trees, and it's turned over by Northern Colorado. Into the front court is Bishop. Montana State looking for their first lead in quite a while. The 13:55 mark was their last lead of the game. 12 to shoot for the Bobcats. Muhammad gives the Bobcats their first lead.
Tough shot. Another older player has been at North Texas as a senior transfer, able to make a difficult hook shot in the paint.
42-41. Bears, a little trouble with the spacing and a foul whistle against Xavier Bishop. And that's his third in the contest. So the senior has 3. He's looking over at Montana State head coach Dennis Riga, and he's saying, I know, I got you, coach. Like, it's nice to have a guy that is that aware.
Been there, done that, for sure.
For a Big Sky Conference, again, it's his 6th year in college basketball, but a guy that knows, hey, coach, I won't pick up that 4th one here quick.
Right. Yeah, you got to love that about this year of college basketball, being able to have all these older players who have been there, done that, and these connection with coaches. And it's great for the game, the COVID year, that the NCAA decided to do that.
Northern Colorado comes down in a 2-3 zone. Bodie Hume is checked back in at the 5, as you talked about. We saw him there in the first half. Patterson out in the corner, goes into Osibor. Right back out to Patterson. You can't let him set his feet, and he's got his first 3 of the contest.
Yeah, that's one of those where the coaching staff is definitely going to talk about a timeout.
From Northern Colorado, Nick Gonzalez is checked in, 6'4" sophomore out of Humboldt, Texas. Kellen Tynes as well. Great Osibor for the Bobcats is blocked, is tripped up, and I believe that's going to be Osibor with the personal foul. It is. That's his 2nd, 5th on Montana State here in the second half.
Yeah, talk a little bit about this run that's going on right now, if you don't mind.
Well, and that's what it is. It's been able to get some open shots, some nice ball movement, and Northern Colorado hasn't been able to convert. They've had some nice looks inside. They're going to go right back to it. Bodie Hume on the interior overshoots that one. And again, 1 and done for Northern Colorado. Each team has done a nice job on the defensive glass, and an offensive foul whistled underneath away from the ball. And that's on Osibor again, and that's number 3.
So I got one for you. So in the first half, Northern Colorado was able to get in the bonus at 9 minutes. Now we're at 12 and a half, and they are in the bonus. Again, another huge key when you're struggling to get baskets. Got to find a way to pick up some of those, draw those easy kind of touch fouls where you can shoot free throws.
Trying to work it in to John Cooch. Matt Johnson, the 2nd. Off the Bodie Hume screen, resets the offense. John Cooch fakes the handoff. He's going to attack into the interior, go to the left hand this time, and knock it in with the baby hook.
The big fella's balling. He's taking charges, rebounding, getting the hook right and left hand. Got to love to see it. Got to keep feeding the big man.
3 of 4 on the night, 6 points for Court. Muhammad pumps on the 3. He wants to drive on Bodie Hume. Kellen Tynes, nice dump inside, and a good steal on the interior by Northern Colorado.
Great play by the freshman to pick up the 50-50 ball in transition, and now we've got another 50-50 ball the other way.
They're really making an emphasis on getting on the interior, getting some easy buckets for the big guys.
Yeah, both teams are shooting over 50%. Montana State's at 80. Northern Colorado's at 50, so much more like the game we thought we would see as far as scoring in the second half.
Gonzalez with the 3 ball, his first of the season. No, long 2. They will review that play. Long 2 by Gonzalez. 48-43. Going right back to John Cooch. He finds Bodie Hume. Hume on the attack and a reach-in foul.
There we go. These are the bonus fouls. Play inside out. You get it to the big man. He doesn't force it. Trust his teammate. Gets it out. You drive. You pick up a foul. Now you're shooting 2. Now, Bodie Hume has not been the most efficient from the free throw line so far this season, but I believe he's going to get going in conference play.
5-point advantage. 11:05 to play in the basketball game. Bodie's first free throw. Friendly bounce up and in.
Sometimes that's the bounce you need right there. Sometimes it's shooter's touch right there. Makes 9 of 14 threes at Colorado State. Still got a little bit of that hot hand going.
And you can kind of see the smile there from him. And
relief.
A guy like that, exactly. He goes in, makes a big shot for his team. Second free throw, left that one short, however. But to get a point back, 48-44. Now it's the stops that you talked about there in the first half. Bishop back in for Montana State. Right-handed dribble. Finds Patterson straight away. Looking on the interior for Jabril Bello. Bello wants to lower the shoulder on John Cooch. Up with the right-hand hook. Off the mark. Bodie Hume secures it for Northern. Colorado, 5th rebound of the contest for Bodie.
John Cooch, such a good interior defender. Did such a great job against David Roddy. Now doing it again tonight. Great job by Matt Johnson. Probing the paint. Getting a little soft floater to go.
Team high 12 now for Matt Johnson, the second. And it's a 1-point game. Bishop on the drive, looked like a carry there into the corner. Gonzalez, there's the 3 ball, and that's good. He was 0 for 10 from 3 coming in to tonight's game, and he's put a couple quick ones on the board for Montana State.
Yes, he has. He's come off the bench and give points that's the points the other team does not plan to give up. A guy off the bench who hasn't been scoring very much to be able to give 2 threes.
As that on the drive should be a goaltend. They get the foul on Gonzalez.
And a great attack by Matt Johnson. He's been the best player on the floor today for Northern Colorado, giving them everything they need to keep this thing going. I don't know. It looked like it was a foul and a goaltend to me, but again, referees are human. We're going to give them a pass.
Johnson at the free throw line, 4 of 5 today for Northern Colorado. Rattles that one in and out. 4-point game, 50-46. Ahmed Adama returns for Tyler Patterson. Bears 7 of 10 at the foul line here tonight. Second free throw up and good.
Yeah, just give them credit again. They've gotten to the free throw line already 4 times, 4 free throw attempts within that bonus time period, where last time I think it took 7 minutes to get their first ones.
3-point advantage for Montana State. John Cooch backs way off of Bello outside the 3-point line. John Cooch playing with the 3 personal fouls, has to be careful. Kicked out Mohammed, 3 ball off left, and it'll roll out of bounds. Big defensive stop there by Northern Colorado.
Yeah, the Bears are playing good basketball right now. They're definitely executing on the defensive end and making it tough for Montana State to get what they want. And on the offensive end, they're getting to the paint and picking up those cheap fouls. Look for them to get another good possession here.
3-point advantage for the Bobcats. Cookshausen, 3 ball, in and out, no good.
And even though it doesn't drop, they played inside out. They fed it to the big man, and they get another good look from 3.
Good scramble defense by Northern Colorado. Bishop near wing in front of the Bobcat bench. Hume rejects him with the right hand. Big block shot from Bodie Hume. Dalen Kuntz hands it off to Cookshausen, and Montana State recovers defensively. Matt Johnson on the drive, spins it back around, turns it over, thought he had John Cooch running with him. Adamu off the window.
Another stop in a row. Feed the transition.
Danny Sprinkle wanted a whistle on that one on Dalen Kuntz. Didn't get it on the attack. Dalen penetrates, step back jumper, too strong for Dalen Kuntz.
That last time before that, Kuntz wanted to find Cookshausen in transition. Montana State did a great job of making sure they were Velcroed to him to not give him that transition 3.
8:16 to play in this hotly contested Big Sky opener for both these squads. Montana State 6th straight game on the road. Bears' 2nd home game of the season. Dumped into Abdul Muhammad. He throws up a wild reverse layup, no good. Bellows there for the rebound. And he's
now, it's how can I get separation as we get closer to the end of the game?
Bello splits a pair, and it's a 4-point advantage, 51-47 for Montana State. Matt Johnson, the second, controls for UNC on the offensive side. I think Dalen Kuntz drives, hands it to Joe Cooch, and it goes through his hands. 12th turnover of the contest for Northern Colorado. 13 points off those turnovers, and that's kind of where you want to be, 1 point per turnover. Montana State leads by 4. McMahon to Gonzalez. Right back to Gonzalez, had an open look at a 3, passed it up, 5 to shoot for the Bobcats. 3 now. Bishop, shot clock winding down, got it.
second time he's done that this game. The other one was right before the half. Huge momentum play to get them believing. I believe that ignited the start of their 80% shooting in the beginning of the second half. Hopefully for the Bears, that does not ignite them again.
Cookshausen gets a wide open look and responds
with the response.
UNC.
Gotta love the response. I think everyone in the building's been waiting for him to get another one, and he gets a look. Hopefully that can feed Northern Colorado to get their run going.
Good, great elevator screen there to free up Cookshausen. Didn't need a ton of space and just got what he needed. Make it a 4-point game, 54-50. Cookshausen's second three of the contest. He had 4 against CSU inside to Bello. Bello wants to back down Coor, and it'll be a whistle on Coor, and that'll be number 4 on the big fella for Northern Colorado. 6:27 to play. Dalton Connect will return for Northern Colorado.
At the line for the Bobcats, number 13, Jabril Miller for two
Miller was just at the free throw line, split a pair. Has the third most makes in the Big Sky Conference coming into this game, and missed that one right there. Good free throw shooter. Look around the Big Sky Conference. Weber State leads Northern Arizona 16-12 midway through the first half. Portland State on top of Idaho State by 5, 21-16. Southern Utah leads Eastern Washington 25-18. Another 1 of 2 for Bellows, stretches the lead back to 5 for Montana State.
Big possession here for Northern Colorado. Look for them again to get attacked to the basket, something at the rim where you can score and get easy buckets or get fouled. Great execution there by Dalen Coons going to his left.
Dalen Coons gets to his left hand. He matches Matt Johnson the second for a team-high 13. There's Bodie Hume on Jabril Bello now. As a whistle will be called, and it's going to be on Bodie Hume. That's 4 on Bodie as well. 5:52 to play. Theo Hughes returns. Tyler Patterson checks back in for Montana State. Gonzalez comes back to the basketball as Montana State resets offensively. 5:46 to play, leading by 3, 55-52. Bishop gets into the paint, spins open, and is wide open in the paint with the right hand.
Yeah, you can just tell he's just such a veteran, so much poise, so much control. I don't even know if he meant to be that open, but when he was, it's like, all right, you're going to give me this? I'll take it.
14 to lead Montana State. And it's tipped away by Gonzalez. Matt Johnson the second, and Gonzalez on the floor, and they'll call it jump ball. And it will go back to Northern Colorado. You love the hustle by those two guys wearing number 2. In that one, neither one of them wanted to give up that possession.
No doubt. That's just conference play, and guys want to make sure they do everything they do to leave it on the floor to see who can come out with this victory. Coaches will both be showing that in film as a play that could have turned the game one way or the other. You love to see your players go all out on the line to be first to the floor to get those loose balls.
Northern Colorado trails by 5. Matt Johnson the second, the floater up, no good. Bello secures the rebound, his third of the contest. There's Bishop into the front court, under 5 to play here in Greeley. High screen comes from Bello. Good hedge by Hughes. Dumped into the corner. Patterson for 3 off the side of the backboard, and it's tipped to Dalen Coons.
Great contest for could have been a wide open shot. And then a great little wheel and deal in the paint with the spin move and one for Dalen Kuntz going back to the free throw line in transition.
That is where he is so dangerous. You see his head up the whole time. He spins back, and the easy foul call there, the reach in on Adamu, his third here in the second half. But a big time move by Dalen Kuntz to give him 15 to lead Northern Colorado.
Yeah, when he's in transition and having so many shooters on the floor, it almost gives him that one-on-one isolation type situation with a head of steam, and he's as good as anybody in the Big Sky in those situations.
Free throw up and good, averaging 19 a game for Dalen Kuntz. 2-point advantage for Montana State.
This is the final stretch, the last 5 minutes of the game where each coach talks about winning time. This is winning time. All possessions are even more crucial offensively and defensive, trying to get the best execution possible.
Gonzalez, top of the key, guarded by Cookshausen. Can't find any space. Patterson does, lines one up and is off the mark, and Cookshausen has another rebound for Northern Colorado. He's done a nice job on the glass with 3 boards for the Bears. On the attack, it's Dalton Connect, now backs things out. Near wing, Matt Johnson, the second, has it. Dumps it to Hughes. Hughes on the attack, gets in the lane. Off the window, can't roll it home for UNC.
Great take, great shot at the paint. Gotta love, those are the shots you want as a coach. You want to make sure you get those shots close to the rim, high percentage makes. Now you got to turn around and get another stop if you're Northern Colorado.
John Cooch and Hume will check back in for the stretch run for the Bears. 3:35 to play. Bishop on the drive, gets in the paint, steps through with the left hand, left it short, and Cookshausen again grabs another board.
And another one-man break from Cook. Player all game consistently and really all season.
Knotted at 57, 2 big free throws by Dalen Kuntz, the Colorado Player of the Year from Denver East. And the Bears crowd trying to get into it. Bishop controls top of the key, picks up his dribble. Patterson on the far wing. Trying to get it inside to Bello. John Cooch has 5 fouls. Wanted to gamble on that one, but a good job defensively. Bodie's got to be careful. He's got 5 as well, and Muhammad goes right at him and scores.
Yeah, that was a tough play. I was surprised he kicked it out, and Bello's been good all game long and kind of gone to that spin hook and goes back to a go-to play, and let's see what Northern Colorado can do here to match that 2 points.
Johnson deep in the quarter. Bodie Hume off the screen is no good, and got a good look at it with the defender falling to the ground. But Bodie 0 for 5 from 3 in the contest.
Hasn't quite had that clean look. That's the cleanest look he's had, but he wasn't quite on balance. I don't think he expected to be that open.
Right, well, you said it. He didn't expect to be that open. Muhammad falls down, and he's coming the opposite way.
Right.
He's coming to his left. That's a tough shot for a right-handed shooter to make that, but again, it just hasn't been Bodie's night after such a great night on Saturday against Colorado State with those 9 threes. Unable to hit one here yet tonight. I don't think they're going to go away from him. He's a guy that's going to get a few more looks here down the stretch with 2.5 minutes to play. Trailing by 2. You talk about defensive stops early in this contest. This is where Northern Colorado has to dig in and find one more here to keep this a 2-point game.
Yeah, it's all about the stops, and Smiley's talked about this, that good to great moment. Offensively, they're going to be fine. Defensively, they have to find a way to dig in and get some stops to put themselves in position. Double bonus on the other side too for the Bears. So if they do get fouled, they are shooting 2.
Just 5 team fouls for Northern Colorado. Cookshausen, Hume, John Cooch, Matt Johnson the second, and Dalen Kuntz for Northern Colorado. Xavier Bishop, Tyler Patterson, Jabril Bello, Nick Gonzalez, and Abdul Muhammad for Montana State.
Hey, use this dribble. Use this dribble.
Muhammad backs down and gets into the paint. Gonzalez with 9 to shoot, dumps inside to Bello. Bello travels and turns it over.
Now that's the good to great stop. It looked like there was a couple travels and a couple different violations possibly on that possession, but tip your hat to the Bears. Got the stop they wanted. Now they're on the offensive end. I would say they're probably going to try to figure out some way to go to Hume or Kuntz in some kind of 2-man game to get the 2 best offensive players a look.
2:13 to play. 2-point game for Northern Colorado. Montana State leads. Trying to post up Bodie as you talked about. Can't get it to him. Matt Johnson the second. Bounces to Coor Jung Cooch. Coor in the lane. Off the window is good. Denied it at 59.
The big fella, I've said it once. I've said it again. He's been balling all game. Love to see the pick and roll, feeding the big man for the great finish off the glass.
8 points, 4 rebounds for Coor. Tied at 59. Gonzalez to Bello. Bello hands it to Patterson. Patterson flips it with one hand near side. Tip. Adamu guarded by Dalen Kuntz. On the attack with the right hand, bounces to Bello. Bello, 2-hand flush for Montana State. 2-point advantage for the Bobcats. John Cooch has it. He'll hand to Bodie Hume. Hume off the screen. Got it for Northern Colorado.
There it is. Boom for number 13. Right on time. The best look he's had all night. Now it's time for Northern Colorado to dig in and get that stop.
1-point advantage for the Bears. Huge shot from Bodie Hume. Under a minute to play. Muhammad on the drive. Gets in the paint. And he's fouled by Bodie Hume. That'll be number 5 on Bodie. So after the big bucket, they'll get him for his 5th personal foul.
Yeah, you gotta give credit to Muhammad. It looks like he got away with a travel again, kind of shuffling his feet, but he does compose himself, step through, and kind of initiate some contacts and draw the foul on Hume.
Muhammad at the free throw line for Montana State. 3 of 4. Double-double for Abdul Muhammad. 10 points, 10 rebounds.
I'll say this about Bodie Hume. He has played, although he hasn't played as great offensively, he's made some huge plays, getting a steal in the pass lane for a dunk. He's got a big-time block. And even though he wasn't playing great offensively, he makes the biggest shot of the night with that 3 right there. So you got to give the senior credit for just kind of gritting his way through tonight.
Muhammad at the foul line. First free throw, too strong. 1-point advantage for Northern Colorado, 62-61. Second free throw ties it at 62. This is where you want your veterans, a guy like Matt Johnson, the second with the ball in his hands, and Dalen Kuntz for Northern Colorado. High screen comes. Matt Johnson, the second, tries to get in, finds Cookshausen. Quick 3-ball by Cookshausen is short. You'll have a 2 for 1, I guess, maybe the thinking right there for Northern Colorado. 7 to 8 second differential, shot clock to game clock.
This goes back to that good to great. They've gotten the big defensive stops when they need them. Let's see if they can get one more this possession.
Bello has it underneath, bodied up by John Cooch. Right hand hook shot is good with just under 15 seconds to play. 2-point advantage, Montana State. Dalen Kuntz between the leg dribble. He's isolated on Jabril Bello. Gets to the rim. Up off glass. No good. Tapped home by John Kuntz with 5 seconds to play.
Love to see the big man on the glass, tipping it in. 5 seconds left. Got to find a way to get this stop.
Bishop checks the clock. Bishop for 3 in the win is off the mark.
Yeah, you really want to get off to a great start, too. You don't have any time to dig out of a hole in 5 minutes of overtime.
Montana State controls the tap to start things off. Johnson the second, connect. Dalen Kuntz, John Cooch, and Drew Cookshausen for the Bears. Gonzalez, Bello, Muhammad, Ahmed Adamu, and Xavier Bishop for Montana State. Bobcats playing around the perimeter right now. Adamu comes near wing to Gonzalez. Into Bello. Bello spins baseline, tries to pick up that 5th personal foul, and John Cooch is right there for Northern Colorado.
John Cooch, he might be the player of the game the way he's defended and continue to make big plays.
3-ball connect for Northern Colorado. 67-64 for Dalton Connect, his first 3-ball of the contest.
The connect from long range.
3-point edge for Northern Colorado. Huge shot by Connect, and he's got a steal. He's in the open court. Dalton Connect, dunk it home, big fella for Northern Colorado.
Connect has connected on back-to-back plays. First he gets the 3, then he gets the steal for the fly slammer jammer above the rim.
What a series for Dalton Connect. 5 quick points, and the Bears lead by 5.
You talked about Connect many times and how he scored over 20 points a game in junior college. He's showing his ability to score right now in overtime.
Gonzalez pull up 3s off the mark, and there's the man of overtime soaring in.
Connecting for the rebound.
He's doing it all right now for Northern Colorado. You gotta like the way he stepped up here in these first minute and a half of overtime. John Cooch goes back to the far wing for Matt Johnson the second. Xavier Bishop all over him. Good defense from Bishop.
Great job using the clock. Get what you want. Back to his left hand. And Dalen Kuntz with a great finish of the stretch at the rim. Northern Colorado is really getting off to an excellent start to this overtime.
It's a 9-0 run dating back to the final bucket by John Cooch to send us to overtime for Northern Colorado, 71-64. On the attack, Adamu pulls up from the free throw line and hits a tough shot there.
Tough shot. Great defense by Connect. Made a really, really tough contested jump shot, mid-range two, to cut it to 5.
12 now for Adamu. As Dalen Kuntz controls for Northern Colorado. Connect on the drive. Connect hands it to John Cooch in the lane. Dalen Kuntz open 3 balls short, front of the rim, and they're going to call a flop warning, I believe, on Jabril Bello. As we take a look at the replay, and you've talked about it all along, I don't think Dalen Kuntz got to the paint, but just that threat of him getting there, that extra kick out, and then the Thunder dunk home for Dalton Connect. And Northern Colorado leads by 5, 71-66.
Yeah, Connect really stepping up and kind of doing that Bodie Hume impersonation of doing some of the things that he would normally do in his overtime.
Bello low block, wants to go to work on John Cooch. Coors right there, good defense once again on the interior.
I mean, John Cooch has been so impressive. First you do it with David Roddy on Saturday. Now you step up again and you do it against Bello in some of the most crucial moments of the game. He deserves all the credit for what he's done on the inside defensively.
And he's doing it with 4 personal fouls as well for a lot of this game. The ability to not pick up that 5th. Matt Johnson the second on the drive. Lob pass.
Oh, above the rim.
Oh,
wow, what a play. The crowd goes crazy.
Tipped away by Northern Colorado, out of bounds on the defense with 1:17 to play. How about that? Throw it up and go get it for Northern Colorado. Take a look at the replay here. Johnson to John Cooch, and a little flex on the end for the big fella.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a poster. When you can have a poster in this kind of a stage in the game, again, we've been talking about the big fella all game. He deserves all the credit and probably player of the game for how he's played tonight.
Patterson for 3, no good, and there he is again, John Cooch with his 7th rebound in the basketball game. 60 seconds to play in the contest.
We talked about whoever was going to win this overtime game had to get off to a great start, and Northern Colorado has been hot this entire overtime and really has not cooled off.
John Cooch again, dunks it home and 1 for Northern Colorado.
With a little pull-up to show he's been working out a little bit. Go ahead, big fella.
As we look at the replay here, good pass from Connect on the inside.
I mean, what a joy for this team. All that they've been through, the road warriors, the tough schedule. They've lived on the road. It's only their second home game. And wow, for them to step up without Bodie Hume coming off of his career high and them to play this well in overtime, got to tip your hat to them. They just got to finish it now.
9-point advantage, and no good by Muhammad. And Cuxhausen has the rebound, and it's tipped in the backcourt. Montana State comes up with it, 35 seconds, and a 3-ball by Bishop. Quick pass is stolen away by Kellen Tynes. He gives it up to Adamu. He's blocked by Dalen Kuntz. That's some recovery defense when you need it the most.
Hey, give Dalen Kuntz credit. He's played above the rim, getting fouled. This time he plays above the rim to get a big block after a key turnover. That was exactly what we talked about that you don't want to do, is those kind of pick up your dribble, pass it in traffic, kind of steal possessions.
26 seconds left in this overtime period. This has been a fantastic matchup between these two teams. Patterson off a screen, wants a 3, has a 3, got a 3.
Uncontested. Uncontested. They get a great handoff. Right now they're going at Drew Cuxhausen.
Free throw by Dalen. Good after a friendly roll.
Senior leading by example, connecting on the big free throw that needed to happen to make it a 2-possession game.
Zach Blatch checks back in. And Gonzalez drives it. He's rejected by Jabril Bello. Get it out of here, says the big fella.
I mean, I don't know how many plays in the game this young man has. It might be about 15, it feels like. But that play to completely erase the basket, there was a layup by John Cooch. You got to just continue to give the big fella credit and how he's played on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively.
How many big blocks here down the stretch for Northern Colorado? Dalen Cooch got a recovery one.
Yep.
A big one there by Core John Cooch as well.
Yeah, we talked about this being a defensive, whoever made the defensive plays was going to win this game, and you have to really give credit to Northern Colorado because they've stepped up and gotten the stops, the blocks, the rebounds on the defensive end and really gritted this game out tonight.
Sam Leckelot checks in for Montana State. Matt Johnson, the second, misses the first free throw. Second free throw good.
Another two-possession game.
Gonzalez for three at the buzzer is good. 1.2 seconds to play.
Now it's a one-possession game with 2 points.
And Dalen Cooch gets the